Well, there was a lot of talk this week about robotics. And I would normally call on almost everybody else before I call Brian for robotics. But there were pieces of the robotics story that only I think Brian would feel would be the guy. So, Brian, I am glad to have you back.
Well, it's great to be back. And with an intro like that, I'm just surprised I made the invitation list.
Well, so everybody knows that Optimist is my favorite. Optimus and Optimist, those two are two of my favorite things. And there's a song about that in a Disney movie or something. But let me move to the reason why I think you have a special way to approach this. Everybody that talks about Optimus seems to be thinking about it either in terms of bacon and eggs and moving grandma stuff in their house, or they're thinking about it in some massive, huge factory with thousands of employees where they're integrating the robot and blah, 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 blah. And for me, it's always been neither one of those things. It's always been something I think maybe you know more about. And that is in little tiny companies everywhere that have not enough production in a day or a week to even begin to think about automation in the normal sense, but enough that it would take that they could, especially if maybe the robot could do two tasks, that the robot would really, really make a difference. I showed a video last year. I should probably have pulled it up for this particular show, but people can go back and look at it. Maybe I'll try to remember to put it in the description below. I did a video which was a silk screen printing on a t-shirt video. And it was a speed contest. And they had like 6 people working on this line simultaneously, one person picking up the t-shirt, another person laying down the t-shirt, another person printing. It was just boom, 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 boom. And we went through that with Scott, and Scott said, yeah, pretty much the bot as we knew it 6 months ago could already do like 4 out of the 6 tasks. So yes. So talk to me, Brian. Aren't there a bunch of different folks out there that you've been in their factories, you've been in their offices, and you've seen tasks where Optimus is ready to go?
100%. I toured a clothing factory it wasn't in Shanghai. It was nearby Shanghai. It was 2 hours away. And it was, boy, talk about an uncomfortable moment. I'm, young and handsome and in a suit, and I look important and rich, and I walk into a room with 300 peasants at sewing machines, basically. And I'd never been, that was the whitest I've ever been. It says a bit. So it was, but every task was broken down into a million little subtasks. And any of those individual subtasks could be handled by a robot, large or small. But no one's asking, can a robot perform a task? We know they can. We've seen them do it. We've got one robot that welds these 2 spots and then it moves on. What we're talking about now is a product that can do any of those subtasks. So if you've got a factory and you make 10,000 widgets a day, and each widget has 20 operations,
right?
You can't afford 20 machines to build that line. You can't. What this does is takes robotics that would normally be reserved for the highest scale and brings it down to reality. It makes it so that a small company can now employ robotics and enjoy a similar economy of scale. And some people say, well, it's going to be $20,000. It's going to be $40,000. And I'm saying those big single function giant robots are 125 to 500,000, depending on what you need them to do. So it's not going to be 20 grand. It's probably not going to be 40 grand. And like you and I have said, it's probably not going to be for sale. It's probably going to be leased, in part because even though it's going to have vastly more functionality in the future and be worth more, it's not there today, because Optimus is the real MVP. And by that, of course, I mean minimum viable product. You can ship it when it's just barely ready. If it can do 3 tasks perfectly, let's ship it to the people who need only 3 tasks done. Yeah. unlike a car that has to work everywhere all the time in every kind of weather, in every kind of climate, we're talking more about a closed loop. If we can have it, if the functions are don't hurt anybody and fold a piece of clothing, it's ready to go. We could sell it today.
Yeah.
Now last week I had a chance in Detroit, near Detroit at the mall, to see the Optimus up close and personal. Now, this wasn't a functional robot, of course. This was I'm hesitant to say mannequin because I'm afraid if I say it too loud, Dan O'Dowd will try to run it over. But it's a display.
It's an opticon.
It's an opticon. So what I think one of the first uses I would love to see is once it can do the very basic tasks, put it in every showroom. Let it polish the cars all day. If you walk over and put some fingerprints on and it notices, it'll go, oh, grab its rag and the smudges are gone. Would you like a cup of water? I'll go get you a cup of water. That would be,
close the door.
Oh, it would be the biggest. It'd be the only thing anyone could talk about on social media for months. And it would be, and of course, because they're very good at this kind of system, this kind of marketing, they would say, that's a limited time only. We're just going to have them there for a month. Get out while you can.
Yeah.
That's also going to drive sales. People are going to be looking at the cars for the first time. Some people have still never touched one. I was at an EV show last weekend in Oregon where a gentleman asked, what is road tripping like in a Tesla? And I said, oh my gosh, I can tell you, here's how it works. And I gave real examples of real road trips we've done recently, where you put in your destination, it shows you your price. It makes it so painless. And they don't know that because they can't know that because cars have never done that before. This is all new territory. So the bot, the number of applications are limited only by your imagination.
I mean, again, I had a plastics company for 30 years, and we did injection.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. We did injection blow molding, which, that's where you just, a tube comes down and a mold closes over it and it blows air in and it makes a bottle. And then the machine opens and the bottle gets ejected out into a box.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 of those lined up. I had to have one person watch all 3 machines all day long, and then for second shift and then for third shift. So I had 3 people. I think Optimus could do that job right now because basically all they did was watch the machines. And if something went wrong, push a button. That's about, yes, there was a little moving of boxes and a little couple of things, but very, very simple tasks that the bot could have done. I can remember when I was a paper printer when I was in college, and I was working on a dressograph machine. I don't even know if they make addressograph machines anymore, but they make something like it, where you are printing at high speeds. And again, you had to have somebody watch it because it's mechanical. And as soon as you looked away, the paper would be going all over the room. And I know none of us have ever had that experience with our printers at home.
No, definitely not.
Definitely need somebody to watch it, turn it off, turn it on, stack paper, whatever. Simple tasks.
Now, that person that you hired to watch the 3 machines basically, and make sure the molds were coming out complete. Yes. That's a whole job. If a factory's running even just one shift, you're talking $5,000 to $10,000 a month once you factor in the benefits.
Right.
To buy a traditional robot that could do the surveying just to configure that robot would have been $100,000.
Probably, yes.
And that's just to get someone to configure. I need you to write code that says what a complete bottle looks like and how to scan for it, and then build the thing that actually does it.
Right.
And it wouldn't look humanoid, but it would get the job done, but at a cost that's prohibitive. Versus, you could lease one for $2,000 to $5,000 a month and get the same result. I'm confident that with how it works today, it would be better than some of the people that you would hire to do the same job. Not because the people are inherently stupid, which some of them could be, but because the job is so monotonous that it's easy to look away.
Yes.
Or get distracted.
Oh, yes.
Or zone out.
Or even not distracted, even not caring. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people just don't care. But anyway, it's so, yeah, I think this is the big thing that most folks that have never worked in a factory or worked in a production area or even worked in shipping. You know, I'm one of the oldest and most highly paid shipping clerks in the world. Every morning, I am putting little plastic rolls of tape that's solve flats in bicycle tires. I'm putting these little rolls of polyurethane into poly bags, putting a label on them and shipping them out. And that's what I spend my mornings doing, at about a little over $100 an hour.
Wow.
Good job if you could get it. And but a robot could do that. I mean, it's putting the ball, the right in the little bag with a label on it and closing it. And I think Optimus could already do the job. I'm pretty sure.
The other thing is, you only need that robot for 2 hours a day. So why spend $5,000 a month? Well, okay, but let's say it's half the speed of a Randy.
Yes,
it operates at 0.5 Randy speeds.
Right.
So you only need it for, even if you factor in the commute, you only need it for 3-4 hours a day.
Right.
Why pay $5,000? Pay $1,000 just to have it come in an hour a day.
Yes. Have a little truck driving around the industrial neighborhood or whatever, dropping it off for 2 hours here, picking it up and taking it on to the next one. Yeah.
It's insane to think that sci-fi scenario you just described could literally happen in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yes.
Now, I don't think it's going to happen like that in 12 months. I think their minimum viable product is a bit higher than I would need it to be as an investor. I think they could start rolling it out sooner. The thing I did notice in my very close look at the bot, which is up on my channel, you can grab footage from it if you'd like. It is it is
my Tesla weekend, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my Tesla weekend. That it's much more complicated in its design than I expected. I thought, you could just get away with steel tubes for the legs. Nope, they're still cast aluminum, very well designed, purpose built. It looks a lot more like sci-fi and a lot less like the early demos that we saw.
Right.
And you've seen the dexterity is already there.
Right.
And it only had to run at 1.5x speed to look real and natural.
Right.
That means that at present, it's only 50% slower than a human, and it can work 3 times longer on a given day.
And you and I have been around this manufacturing business for a while. If you're hiring 52 specialists, you've just put up a posting for 52 specialists, and the list was quite amazing to read, the details of each individual specialization that they were requiring. I have to believe that they're planning on production in single-digit months, at least for their own purposes.
That list was breathtaking, and I would agree that if you're 3 to 5 years from shipping a product, that list is the wrong list. But it could be that they're just taking the Volkswagen approach and hiring 10,000 software engineers to solve a single problem.
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
That could be it. Yeah, I'm sure. And it sounds like Elon to me. Yeah. Sounds like a Tesla approach.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Lean design is out of style. We're going with very, very fat design.
Yeah. So I'm back.
You know what they say? You can never have too many cooks in the kitchen. Just jam it all the way full.
So I'm going back to my original thinking. I still think they get 1,000 built this year. I think they'll start production, minimal production in November, December. Now, look, if it's January, I still win. I'm still going to claim the victory. Even if it's February, I'll probably say, okay. So I was like Elon. I was a little late or early or something.
Well, I am saying it's going to happen, but without a timeline. So if it happens, I claim the victory. But my stakes are lower. My odds are lower because they don't give you good odds on a bet that easy.
Right. That's true. That's true. Well, Brian, that's exactly what I wanted to accomplish in this call, because I don't think anybody else has talked about this at all. It's shocking to me that everybody is either thinking too little and home-based. You, of course, know I'm just waiting for the back massage. That's the only thing I care about. I'm willing to pay the $60,000 a year for a great back massage. know, that's what. And by the way, that truck could just come around once a day, drop them off for an hour.
Sure.
Yeah.
And depending if you're looking like at the shiatsu massage, it could just back into you.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
With that said, Brian, I'm not sure there's anything else we can say. So buy the truck, buy the books, go to Brian's channel. It's something about weekends and Bernie.
Who knows?
Is that right? Right.
Yep.
I thought it was right. All right.
Yeah.
Brian, it's been great as always. And look forward to seeing you over on your channel.
Yep. I'll see you there.
That's going to happen as well. Okay. It's been great talking to all of you out there. If you don't mind, I do want to pitch my little device here. I have these little devices for $25. You can't believe how cool this is. Look at how thick the stainless. I mean, holy mackerel! It comes in it comes in a camo as well. It's a can opener. I mean, I'm sorry, not a can opener, a bottle opener. So you got your bottle opener here too, and it's got a magnet on the back, so you can slap it up on your fridge. I mean, is this good or what? So anyway, you just send $25 to my PayPal account. It's down in the information below. Just click on there. You can send it 20. Now, if you're out of the country, I got to charge you an extra $20 for freight. So, or if you join my Patreon, I'll give you one at the $10 level. I'll give you one for free.
Click the link below to get your paperback, Kindle, or audiobook now.